Let me brief you about the topics. Okay, first of all, I will recall the topics, how to solve the questions, percentages, ratios, and proportions, time and work. After that, we'll move to the questions. Now, percentage, starting with the percentages. Okay, what is meant by percent? Percent means we'll be dividing the percent like per and cent, right? Percentage means we'll be dividing the percent in the format of per and cent. Cent means 100. Cent means 100. Per means total quantity or total quality or total marks or total money or total value or total salary or total votes. Okay. Per means total votes or total salary, total quality, total quantity, total marks, total money, total value, whatever it may be. If you are talking about any particular aspect, always you need to equal the total value to 100. If you equal the total value to 100, we call it as percent. We call it as percent. Okay. Next one. To make the cancellations easier, we are going to use a method called straight cancellation cross multiplication. The name of the method is straight cancellation cross multiplication. In the name itself, it is indicating that straight cancellation. If the given two numbers are in straight direction, we need to cancel that. And next to cross multiplication. If the given two numbers are in opposite direction, that is cross, we need to multiply those two values. Okay. Now, if you look in this direction, the numbers ends are in the same direction, so you can cancel these two. Next, if you look in this direction, A and B are in the same direction, so you can cancel these two. If you look in this direction, B and D are in the same direction, so you can cancel these two. Again, if you look in this direction, C and D are in the same direction, so you can cancel these two. It means either it may be horizontal direction or it may be vertical direction, whatever the type of direction it may be. If the given two numbers are in same direction, that is side by side, simply square format. Okay, square format, we need to cancel those two numbers. And next, cross multiplication. Cross means opposite direction, right? Now the numbers a and d are in which direction? Opposite direction. Okay, the numbers a and d are in opposite direction, so you need to multiply these two numbers. Next, b and c are in opposite direction, so you need to multiply these two numbers. If the given two numbers are in opposite direction, we need to multiply these two numbers. While you are using this logic, you must be aware of one point, that always the value should be in one line and percentages should be in another line. Okay, you can take the percentages on the left side or you can take the percentages on the right side. Choice is yours. Choice is yours. Okay, but all the values should be in one line and percentages should be in another line. Next, always the unknown value is represented as 100. Always the unknown value is represented as 100 and the unknown percentage is represented as 100 percentage. Always the unknown value is represented as 100 and the unknown percentage is represented as 100 percentage. Not only in the percentages concept, in all the topics there. Okay, in all the topics. Okay, in the complete aptitude, we'll be representing the unknown value as 100 and the unknown percentage as 100 percentage. Next, if it is a fraction, mainly you need to focus only on the denominator. For example, 3 by 4. Okay, 3 by 4 means how much percentage? 75 percentage, right? If it is a fraction, mainly you need to focus only on the denominator. In the denominator, the value is 4, right? In the denominator, the value is 4. Okay, and we already know this total value is 100. In the denominator it is 4. Okay, the total value is 100. Now we need to divide 100 into 4 parts. Okay, if in the denominator, if the value is 4, divide 100 into 4 parts. In the denominator, if the value is 8, divide 100 into 8 parts. In the denominator, if the value is 10, divide 100 into 10 parts. In the denominator, if the value is 20, divide 100 into 20 parts, like this. Okay, now coming to this question, in the denominator the value is 4, right? In the denominator the value is 4, so we need to divide 100 into 4 parts. If you divide 100 into 4 parts, then 3 parts value is 75. Then 3 parts value is 75. Okay, denominator లో వాల్యూ ఎంతైతే ఉంటుందో 100 ని అన్ని పార్ట్స్ చేయండి అని మీనింగ్, న్యూమరేటర్ లో వాల్యూ ఎంతైతే ఉంటుందో అన్ని పార్ట్స్ వాల్యూ చెప్పండి అని మీనింగ్. ఓకే, ఫర్ ఎగ్జాంపుల్ డినామినేటర్ లో 10 ఉంటే 100 ని 10 పార్ట్స్ గా డివైడ్ చేయాలి. ఓకే, ఫర్ ఎగ్జాంపుల్ డినామినేటర్లో 20 ఉంది అనుకో. ఓకే, 100 ఎన్ని పార్ట్స్ చేయాలి? 20 పార్ట్స్. ఓకే, డినామినేటర్ వాల్యూ ఎంతైతే ఉంటుందో 100ని అన్ని పార్ట్స్ చేయండి అని మీనింగ్. న్యూమరేటర్ వాల్యూ ఎంతైతే ఉంటుందో అన్ని పార్ట్స్ వాల్యూ చెప్పండి అని మీనింగ్. దిస్ ఈస్ పర్సంటేజెస్. Now coming to the ratios. Ratio is nothing but the comparison between two or more similar quantities. Ratio is nothing but the comparison between two or more similar quantities. The ratio format is A is to B, A is to B, and it can also be written as A by B. The ratio format is A is to B, and it can also be written as A by B. In a ratio A is to B, the first term A is called as antecedent, and the second term B is called as consequent. Okay, in a ratio A is to B, the first term A is called as antecedent and the second term B is called as consequent. Now coming to the types of ratios. How many types of ratios are there? Total there are 6 types of ratios are there. First one is a duplicate ratio. In the examination state, there is a chance of asking this question. Okay, duplicate ratio. Find the duplicate ratio of A is to B. Duplicate ratio of A is to B is A square is to B square. Duplicate ratio. The duplicate ratio of A is to B is A square is to B square. Next one, subduplicate ratio of A is to B. The subduplicate ratio of A is to B is under root of A is to under root of B. Next one, triplicate ratio of A is to B. The triplicate ratio of A is to B is A cube is to B cube. A cube is to B cube. Next one, subtriplicate ratio of A is to B. The subtriplicate ratio of A is to B is cubed root of A is to cubed root of B. Cubed root of A is to cubed root of B. Next one, the inverse ratio of A is to B. Inverse ratio of A is to B is B is to A. Inverse ratio of A is to B is B is to A. And the last but not least, that is compounded ratio. Find the compounded ratio of A is to B and C is to D. A is to B and C is to D. This is the compounded ratio here. Compounded ratio means you need to multiply all the antecedents. Okay, if you multiply all the antecedents, you'll be getting an overall antecedent, and next you need to multiply all the consequents. If you multiply all the consequents, you'll be getting overall consequent. Clear? These are the types of ratios. Now coming to the proportion. What is meant by proportion? Proportion is nothing but the equality of two ratios. The equality of two ratios is called as a proportion, or in another format, the equality of two ratios is called as a proportion, or in another format, the product of extremes is equal to the product of means. The product of extremes is equal to the product of means. Product means multiplication. Extremes means corner ends, right? Product of extremes A into D. Okay, product of means B into C. When you multiply A into D, you will be getting a resultant AD. When you multiply B into C, you will be getting a resultant BC. If these two values are equal, then simply will tell that it is in a proportion. Okay, for example, if AD value is 20, okay, BC value is 20, okay, values are same, right? Then it is in a proportion. For example, if AD value is 20 and BC value is only 17, okay, values are not equal, right? Then it is not in a proportion. Okay, if the values are equal, it is in a proportion. If the values are not equal, it is not in a proportion. This is about ratios. Now coming to the very important concept, that is profit, loss, discount and successive discount. Profit, loss, discount and successive discount. Okay, now coming directly, I'm discussing only the shortcuts. Okay, I'm not going with the formulas. Okay, I'm not discussing the formulas here. Just we are going with only the shortcuts. Now look here, cost to price. Cost to price will be always 100 percentage in terms of percentages. In terms of percentages, cost to price will be always 100 percentage, and in terms of value, cost to price will be always 100. In terms of value, cost to price is 100, and in terms of percentages, cost to price will be always 100 percentage. Cost to price will be always 100 percentage. Okay, now in the questions they will give you the profit percentage. Okay, in the questions they'll give you the profit percentage. Now what you have to do, if they give you the profit percentage, add the profit percentage to the cost price. Okay, they'll give you the profit percentage. If you add the profit percentage to the cost to price, okay, if you add the profit percentage to the cost to price, then you'll be getting the selling price percentage. Try to understand this. I repeat, cost to price is always 100 percentage. Okay, in the questions they'll give you the profit percentage. Okay, now what you have to do, you need to add the profit percentage to the cost to price. If you add the profit percentage to the cost to price, then you will be getting the selling price percentage. Now your doubt is, sir, why we need to find out the selling price percentage? Why? Because in the questions they'll give you profit percentage and selling price value. Instead of giving you the selling price percentage, they will give you the selling price value. In the questions they'll give you the profit percentage and selling price value, not percentage. Okay, now our assumption is cost to price is 100 percentage, right? They'll give you the profit percentage. Now if you add the profit percentage to the cost to price, then you'll be getting the selling price percentage. In the questions they will give you the selling price value. We find out the selling price percentage. Now you know the selling price percentage and selling price value, simply you can solve this question. Okay, right? Sometimes they'll give you the loss percentage. Okay, sometimes they'll give you the loss percentage. Okay, if they give you the loss percentage, subtract the loss percentage from the cost price. Okay, subtract the loss percentage from the cost price. If you subtract the loss percentage from the cost price, then you'll be getting the selling price percentage. In the questions they will give you the selling price value. For example, look here, if the profit percentage is, if the profit percentage is 60 percentage, profit percentage is 60 percentage. Okay, now find out the selling price percentage. Cost to price is 100 percentage, right? 100% plus 60%, total it is 160%. Now the selling price is 160%. Okay, sometimes they'll give you the loss percentage. Loss means subtract it from the cost price. 100% minus 40%, that is 60%. Okay, loss percentage means subtract it from the cost price. Okay, if you subtract the loss percentage from the cost price, then you will be getting the selling price percentage. Okay, if they give you the profit percentage, add the profit percentage to the cost price. If you add the profit percentage to the cost price, then you will be getting the selling price percentage. In the questions they will give you the selling price value. Okay, this is about this one, that is profit and loss. Now coming to the discounts, there always the discounts will be given on the market price. Always the discounts will be given on the market price. Market price will be always 100 percentage in terms of percentages. I repeat, market price will be always 100 percentage. The discounts will be given purely on the market price. Now in the questions they'll give you the discount percentage. Now you need to deduct the discount from the market price. Let us say the discount is 10 percentage. Okay, market price is 100 in terms of value, and in terms of percentages market price is 100 percentage. Now he's going to give you a discount of 10%. If 10% discount is given on market price, if 100% value is 100, then 10% value is 10. As this is a discount value, deduct this. As it is a discount value, deduct this. If you deduct this discount from the market price, 100 minus 10, that is 90. This 90 rupees will be selling price for the shopkeeper. If you are a shopkeeper, this 90 rupees will be selling price, which consists of cost to price plus profit. If you are a shopkeeper, after giving the discount, you are selling it for only 90 rupees. In this 90 rupees, your cost to price is there, as well as your expected profit is also there. If you are a buyer, this 90 rupees will be cost to price for you. If you are a buyer, this 90 rupees will be cost to price for you. Try to understand this case. Why? Because in some questions there is a chance of asking this question: what is the profit percentage? What is your profit percentage after giving a discount of 10%? Okay, like this there is a chance of asking this question. So you need to understand this. Market price is 100 percentage, discount will be given on the market price. After giving the discount, if you are a shopkeeper, this 90 rupees will be selling price for you, which includes cost price plus your expected profit. If you are a buyer, just this 90 rupees will be cost price for you. That's it. This is discount. Now coming to the successive discount. Successive discount is nothing but an discounts on discount. Okay, successive discount is nothing but an discounts on discount. If the discount is, if it is more than one discount, if it is more than one discount, it comes under to successive discount. Understood? If it is more than one discount, it comes under two successive discount. Okay, they will give you the format will be like this here: 10 plus 20%. 10 plus 20%. By saying this, everyone will think that they are going to give you a discount of 10 plus 20 total 30%. They are going to give you a discount of 30%, but this is wrong. They are not going to give the discount of 30%. Okay, to find the successive discount, the trick is A plus B minus AB by 100. This is not the formula. This is the trick that we are going to use to find the overall successive discount. Okay, coming to the compound interest, again we'll be using the same logic. Okay, we'll be using the same logic for the compound interest, but there will be a slight change. That's it. Okay, to find the successive discount, the logic is A plus B minus AB by 100, where A stands for first discount. A is nothing but an first discount, B is nothing but an second discount. Okay, A means first discount, B means second discount. Okay, A is the first discount, B is the second discount. Now look here, what is the first discount? 10%. The first discount is 10% and the second discount is 20%, right? The first discount is 10% and the second discount is 20%. The first discount is 10 plus the second discount is 20 minus A into B, 10 into 20, that is 200. 200 by 100. Okay, 200 by 100, that is 2. 10 plus 20, 30. 30 minus 2, 28 percentage. Okay, the overall discount is only 28 percentage. The overall discount is 28 percentage. Clear? Successive discounts. Any doubts in this? Yeah. Next one. The next concept is simple interest and compound interest. Simple interest and compound interest. Simple interest, either it may be simple interest or it may be compound interest. Simply here, simple interest means we'll be collecting the interest only on the principal, that is original amount. Okay, if we collect the interest only for the principal, we call it as simple interest. Coming to the compound interest, in the compound interest we'll be collecting the interest for the principal as well as previous year's interest also. Okay, if you collect the interest for both principal and the interest, we call it as compound interest. If you collect the interest only for the principal, we call it as simple interest. Okay, now coming to this here, either it may be simple interest, direct shortcuts, either it may be simple interest or it may be compound interest. Whatever the type of interest it may be, principal will be always 100%. Okay, either it may be simple interest or it may be compound interest. Whatever the type of interest it may be, principal will be always 100%. Okay, now coming to the simple interest, the rate of interest will be per annum, right? Always the rate of interest will be per annum for 1 year. For 1 year. Okay, for example, let us say that the rate of interest is 10% per annum. Time period is 3 years. Time period is 3 years. Okay, find the overall rate of interest. For 1 year it is 10%, right? For 1 year it is 10%. What is the time period? 3 years. For 1 year it is 10%. For 3 years it will be 30%. The overall interest is 30%. Principal value will be given in the question, and we already know this principal is always 100%. If you know the 100% value, then easily you can find the 30% value, right? This 100% value will be given in the question. You no need to worry about that. Principal will be given in the question. Okay, now you need to find out the overall interest. The overall interest in terms of percentages is 30% for 3 years. Now you need to find out the value for this. For example, if the principal is assume that the principal is rupees 10,000. The principal is rupees 10,000. Time period is 3 years. Time period is 3 years. Rate of interest is 10% per annum. Okay, principal is rupees 10,000. Time period is 3 years. Rate of interest is 10% per annum. Okay, now what is the principal here? The principal is 10,000, right? The principal is 10,000 in terms of value, and in terms of percentages, principal will be always how much percent? 100%. Okay, principal will be always 100% in terms of percentages, and in terms of value, principal is 10,000. We know the principal in terms of value and percentage now equal these two. If 100% value is 10,000, if 100% value is 10,000, okay, now what is the rate of interest here? The rate of interest is 10% per annum. Per annum means for 1 year. For 1 year the rate of interest is 10%, but the time period is 3 years, right? But the time period is 3 years. For 1 year it is 10%, for 3 years it will be 30%. For 3 years it will be 30%. Now find out the 30% value. Coming to the cancellation, two zeros gets cancelled. I'm using the method straight cancellation, cross multiplication. Okay, two zeros gets cancelled. 130 are in opposite direction, multiply this. 100 into 30, that is 3000. Now the interest collected for 3 years is 3000 rupees. Understood? This is simple interest. Now coming to the compound interest here. Compound interest, to find the compound interest, the overall rate of, to find out the overall compound interest, the logic is a plus b plus ab by 100. Okay, if it is minus it comes under to successive discount, if it is plus it comes under to compound interest. Okay, a plus b plus ab by 100, a plus b plus ab by 100, where a is the first year interest. Okay, a is the first year interest. Okay, b is the second year interest. A is the first year interest, b is the second year interest. Okay, now look here. For example, let us say the rate of interest is 10% per annum for the first year. For the first year, the rate of interest is 10% per annum. For second year, he's changing the interest. Okay, for second year, let us say the rate of interest is 30%. Okay, the rate of interest is 30% for second year. Okay, for first year the rate of interest is 10%, and for second year the rate of interest is 30%. Okay, now what is the overall compound interest? Okay, overall compound interest. Okay, to find out the overall compound interest, what is the logic? A plus b plus ab by 100, where a is the first interest. Okay, first year interest. What is the first year interest? 10%. Plus, now coming to the b is the second year interest. Okay, second year interest, it is 30%. 10 plus 30 plus 10 into 30, it is 300, right? 10 into 30, it is 300. 300 by 100, 100 3s are 300. 10 plus 30, 40. 40 plus 3, 43. The overall interest is 43 percentage. Okay, the overall interest is purely 43 percentage. Understood? Compound interest, to find the overall rate of interest here. Okay, next one. Sir, what if the time period is 6 months, 3 months? Okay, now for example, look here, the rate of interest is 20% per annum. The rate of interest is 20% per annum, and the time period is 4 months. Time period is 4 months. Principal is rupees 5,000. Principal is rupees 5,000. Now, what is the interest collected for 4 months? Okay, what is the interest collected? Okay, what is the interest collected for this? Now, I'm taking 3 months. Okay, 3 months. Now the rate of interest is 20% per annum. Per annum means 1 year, right? For 1 year it is 20%. 20 percentage is the interest for 1 year. 1 year means how many months? 12 months. For 12 months the rate of interest is 20%, but the time period is only 3 months, right? For 12 months it is 20, but the time period is only 3 months. For 3 months it will be, okay, 3 4 z 12, 4 5 z 20, that is 5 percentage. The rate of interest for 3 months is only 5%. Now we know the principal. What is the principal? 5,000 in terms of value. And in terms of percentages, principal is 100%. Okay, interest is 5%. Now find out the 5% value. Two zeros gets cancelled. 50 and 5 are in opposite direction. Multiply this. Okay, 5 5 is 25. 0 there, that is 250. 250 rupees is the interest collected for 3 months. Understood? Any doubts in this? Right. Next one, time and work. Time and work. In the questions here, first they will give you the times. In the questions, they'll give you the times. Okay, right. First, you need to find out the LCM for the times. That LCM will be the total work. Okay, in the questions, they'll give you the times. Now you need to find out the LCM for the times. That LCM will be the total work. Okay, that LCM will be the total work. Next step, you need to find out the efficiency. Okay, next step is finding the efficiency. Next step is finding the efficiency. Okay, to find the efficiency, the one and only logic is when you multiply time and efficiency, when you multiply time and efficiency, you need to get total work as the resultant. Time and efficiency multiply చేస్తే total work రావాలి మనకి. Resultant total work రావాలి. Clear? Time and efficiency multiply చేస్తే total work రావాలి. Okay, now let us take one example. A alone can do a piece of work in 60 days. B alone can do a piece of work in 30 days. A alone can do a piece of work in 60 days. B alone can do a piece of work in 30 days. Now his question, if both A and B worked together, they will finish the work in how many days? They will finish the work in how many days? Now look here, we know the times. Okay, time taken by A to finish the total work is 60 days. Time taken by B to finish the total work is 30 days. Okay, now the first step is you need to find out the total work. To find out the total work, the one and only logic is we need to find out the LCM for the times. Coming to the LCM shortcut, among the given numbers, you need to select the biggest number. That biggest number should be divisible by the remaining numbers. All the numbers should cancel the biggest number at a time and directly. Directly means in the terms of natural numbers, decimal is not accepted. Decimal is not accepted. Okay, 60, 30. Among these two numbers, the biggest number is 60, right? Okay, 60 and 30. Okay, these two numbers are there. Out of these two, 60 is the biggest number. The number 60 will be divisible by 30. The number 60 will be divisible by 60. So the LCM for 60 and 30 is 60. Now the total work is 60. Next step is efficiency. Okay, efficiency ఎలా find out చేస్తాం? Time efficiency multiply చేస్తే total work రావాలి. Right, 60 into 1 that is 60, 30 into 2 60. Okay, 60 into 1 that is 60, 30 into 2 that is 60. Now A's one day work is only 1 pen, B's one day work is 2 pens. A's one day work is only 1 pen, B's one day work is 2 pens. Now the question, if A and B worked together, if A and B worked together, their one day work is 2 plus 1 that is 3 pens. If A and B worked together, their one day work is 2 plus 1 that is 3 pens. Now the question is time taken by them to finish the total work. What is the total work? 60. What is their one day work? 3. So your answer is 60 by 3, that is 20 days. If both A and B worked together, they will finish the work only in 20 days. Okay. And there will be a chain rule in this, that is M1 D1 H1 by W1 is equal to M2 D2 H2 by W2. Okay, we call this as chain rule. Okay, this is the third model. M stands for number of men, D stands for number of days, H stands for number of hours, W stands for work. All these values will be given in the question. Directly, you need to substitute the values and do the cancellation. That's it. Okay. Now coming to the last one. Okay, time, speed, and distance. Time, speed, and distance. In this, I'm moving on to the concept called trains here. Okay, trains. Okay, I think I gave you this logic, right? 90 kilometer per hour. Look here, 90 kilometer per hour. Copy the value 90 as it is. In the place of kilometer, place 0. In the place of per hour, place 36. Before conversion, it is 90 kilometer per hour, and after conversion for 36 seconds, it is covering 900 meters. Before conversion, it is 90 km per hour, and after conversion for 36 seconds, it is covering 900 meters. It means that without using of any conversion techniques, 5 by 18 or 18 by 5, directly we converted it from kilometer per hour to meter per second. Okay, without using any conversion techniques, directly we converted it from kilometer per hour to meter per second. Okay, this is the one and only shortcut that we are going to use for the trains concept. Okay, always they will give you the speed in the question. Okay, they'll give you the speed in the question. Copy the value at this speed, that is 90. In the place of kilometer, place 0, and in the place of per hour, place 36. Okay, next one, boats and streams. Boats and streams. This is upstream. Upstream can also be called as against the water. Upstream can also be called as against the water. Okay, this is a downstream. Downstream can also be called as along the water or with the water. Along the water or with the water. Okay, exactly in middle of these two, this is called as speed of the boat in still water. Speed of the boat, speed of the boat in still water or standing water. Speed of the boat in still water or standing water can also be called as man speed, can also be called as man speed, can also be called as boat speed. Okay, now exactly in middle of these two, okay, there will be one more term called as current speed, current speed or stream speed. Current, current speed or stream speed, and exactly in between of these two, there will be a term called current speed or stream speed. Current speed or stream speed. Okay. Now look here. A boat is traveling with a speed of 40 km per hour in the upstream. In the upstream, the speed of the boat is 40 km per hour. In the upstream, the speed of the boat is 40 km per hour, whereas the same boat is traveling with a speed of 60 km per hour in the downstream. In the upstream, the speed of the boat is 40 km per hour, and in the downstream, the speed of the boat is 60 km per hour. Okay. Now, what is the speed of the boat in still water? Upstream is 40, downstream is 60. Exactly in between of these. Chandana, 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 mute your microphone. Next, Srikanth, Tejavat Srikanth, Tejavat Srikanth, mute yourself. Srikanth, Tejavat, right. Upstream is 40 km per hour, and we know the downstream. Downstream is 60 km per hour. Now he's asking us to find out the speed of the boat in still water. Okay, speed of the boat in still water. Okay, the speed of the boat in still water exactly in between of these two. Okay, in between of these two, upstream is 40, downstream is 60. 40 ki 60 ki middle on the value 50. Now the speed of the boat in still water is 50 km per hour. The speed of the boat in still water is 50 km per hour. This 50 km per hour is the speed of the boat. Now coming to the upstream dear, upstream speed is 40 km per hour, right? 50 became 40. 50 became 40 means the speed is reduced by 10 km per hour. The speed reduced by 10 km per hour. This 10 km per hour is called as current speed. Okay, this 10 km per hour is called as current speed. Now again, this 50 km per hour is the speed of the boat, and coming to the downstream, downstream it is 60 km per hour. 50 became 60. Now the speed increased by 10 km per hour, right? This 10 km per hour is called as current speed, stream speed, or can also be called as water speed. Water speed. Okay, water speed. Note dear, always these two values will be same. Okay, if you get different answer, 1000% your answer is wrong. No doubt in that. Okay, always current speed values will be same. Clear? Right. Now moving on to the questions. First question, solve this. Solve this question. Solve the question and drop your answers in the chat box. Put your answers in the chat box. The scores of Ritesh and Suresh in a class test or in the ratio 11 is to 13. We know the ratio of their scores here. What is the ratio of their scores? 11 is to 13. Okay. Ritesh and Suresh, two persons are there, the ratio of their scores is 11 is to 13. Okay, and their total score is rupees, and their total score is 480. We know the total score in terms of value. What is the total score in terms of value? 480. The total score in terms of value is 480, and the total score in terms of parts is 11 plus 13, total 24. 11 plus 13, total it is 24 parts. Okay, the total score in terms of parts is 24, and the total score in terms of value is 480. Okay, we know that total score in terms of parts and in terms of value now equal these two. If 24 parts value is 480, find Suresh score. Okay, Suresh score is how many parts? 13 parts, right? Now find out the 13 parts value. Okay, 24 2s are 48, 0 there 20. Now 20 and 13 are in opposite direction, multiply this. 13 2s are 26, 0 there 260. Now the Suresh score is 260. Score of Suresh is 260. Clear? Right. Next one. Solve this. 100. Let us check whether the answer is 100 or not. Dhoni gained 20 percentage by selling a novel at $120. Okay, by selling for rupees, by selling it for $120, he gained 20 percentage. Okay, now we know the selling price. What is the selling price? 120. The selling price is 120 in terms of value, and coming to the selling price in terms of percentages here. Okay, after selling it for, when he sells it for 120, he's getting a profit of 20%. Okay, when he sells it for 120 rupees, he's getting a profit of 20%. We know the profit percentage. Profit percentage is 20%. I already explained this concept here. In the questions, they'll give you the